Welcome to Quick Summary and Review. We've got another deck build box. This box contains support for Evil Eye, Dream Mirror, and Gladiator Beast. Let's have a look at the archetypes. Versus Evil Eye. Evil Eye is definitely the deck that got the best support from this box. Soziel is both a combo starter that searches any Evil Eye card, and Disruption that pops a special summoned monster. And this one card will make Evil Eye at least playable in today's meta. I don't think Evil Eyes will be good enough to be in the tier list, but I think they will be decent. Next is a Gladiator Beast. They got two new spells, one Fusion Quick Play and one Reborn spell. These two cards won't change much, they don't really solve the deck's biggest problems, which is consistency, and its reliance on battling, so they will definitely need more than that to actually see competitive play, I think. And finally, it's Dream Mirrors. Dream Mirrors got a trap that searches both field spells and a spell that searches any of their monsters. Well, the deck's not very good, and again, these two cards won't really change that. What we're missing are both the Light and Dark Nayrois, and the two fusions, and the counter trap. Without all of these cards, the deck is just straight up unplayable, and Konami's probably gonna give them a good skill to save them. Let's have a look at the recommended card ratios. Take this with a grain of salt because these cards are just released and people will be tinkering with the ratios and experimenting with different amounts of each card. So expect this to be changing in the course of the following few days. First is 3 copies of Soziel. This is the best starter in the entire deck, so you will want to see this card as much as possible in your starting hand, so definitely 3 copies. Next is the Gladiator Beast Fusion spell. I think 3 copies is good because you probably want to see this card in your opening hand, so if your opponent, disrupts you, you can just activate a quick play spell and still tag into a fusion. But honestly, I don't really know too much about Gladiator Beast, so yeah, that's just speculation. 3 copies of the Dream Mirror Trap, because this is really good at getting both the field spells out, not only one of them, you can have both of them on field to use all of your Dream Mirror's effects, no matter if they are light or dark, which is really good. Rescue Rabbit is probably a free of if you use this card in your deck. So this card is actually not very good. We have better Dream Mirror monsters that are not released yet, so for the time being you will probably need 3 copies of this card. But when we get stuff like the Dark Nayroi, you will probably not play 3 copies of this one. Same with the Trap, actually. The Trap will probably not be as good if we get Dark Nayroi, because that also searches the field spell for us as well. For the Gladiator Beast Fusion, 1 is enough. Same with the level 7 Water one. Selene is an interesting one. So it's technically playable at 1 copy because it's so searchable, but because of if your opponent banishes it with something like a Cosmic, it's just gone forever, which is not very nice. So playing 2 is probably optimal, so even if your opponent banishes one of them with Cosmic or even like a DD Crow from the graveyard, you still have access to a 2nd copy. Dreamer of Terror is okay, and it's searchable for the Trap, so you don't really need 3 copies, and also the Light Mirror searches the Dark Mirror anyway, so you don't really need 3 copies. For the super rares, 1 Reborn spell, because it's searchable technically, and you probably want to see the Fusion spell and the other stuff more often than Extension, but that only kinda works if your opponent destroys your stuff and you have something in your graveyard. But yeah, it's a bit situational, so I'd say 1 copy. The search spell is at 3, because it's a search spell. 1 copy of Medusa, because Soziel is the best normal summon now that it's released, so you probably won't be using your summon on Medusa, so 1 copy is enough, because you can always summon it from your deck with one of the Evil Eye spells that I forgot the name about. This is the same as the Ultra Rare Dream Mirror monster. It's not very good, but because we don't have better options, you probably need to play 3 copies of this card. The Gladiator Beast is okay at 1 because they all tag themselves out, they tag each other out from the deck. You probably want 3 copies of the Trap because it's good to open, and it's really good at having multiple pops using only a single card. And finally, the field spell searches the best starter in the entire Evil Eye deck, so I would say 3 copies. So yeah, what do I think about this box in general? Honestly, I'm quite torn on what I think about this box. On one hand, the Evil Eye stuff is really good even without any skills, and even if it's not good enough to be in the tier list, it's now one of the best decks for new players to get. But on the other hand, the other 2 archetypes are so insanely bad that it makes 2/3 of the cards in this box completely useless. But do keep in mind that all of this might change if Konami decides to give Gladiator Beast and Dreamer a really broken legacy skill, but for now, if you're a new player, you can maybe consider this box, but for anyone else, I would give this box a big fat no. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.